Hi everyone, I'm Eugene Gienger. I'm a certified holistic health practitioner in nutrition wellness in Wayne, Pennsylvania, and I'm glad to be joining you today. So the question that I want to answer for you today is, what is collision cuisine? I mean, it sounds terribly violent and like people will be injured or whatever. In fact, a friend of mine said recently, well, it kind of sounds like what goes on in her kitchen every night when she's trying to get her boys off to soccer and so. What is collision cuisine? Collision cuisine is something that I have been doing for a few years now. I just finally found a good name for it to grab your attention and to make you think. So collision cuisine is, first of all about balance. It's about reconciling two different opposite things and blending them together to make something totally new and unique. So the two things that I'm blending, that are colliding in this style of food preparation, is the ancient macrobiotic school, which is all cooked food and has very distinctive ingredients like seaweed, beans, lots of grains, and land vegetables. So there's that stream of the cooked food. And then on the other hand is the very modern raw food movement, where no one will eat anything that's cooked at all. So these are total opposites. So they meet in a very special way in collision cuisine. And so it's reconciling opposites, which is kind of a yin and a yang principle, and to make something totally new and to grab your attention. So the fact that it sounds very violent, actually the opposite is true. It's something very subtle, very delicate, and very gentle. And so that's where the power comes from. It's gentle, but it's powerful. This first segment is to demonstrate to you a particular dish which I've made, which encapsulates what collision cuisine is in its essence. So it's called Eugene's Quintessential Collision Salad, and you will find the recipe on the collisioncuisine.com website. But I will talk you through it tonight and show you the finished product. First of all, the macrobiotic portion of this recipe is the tempeh. Tempeh is a block of fermented soy, and in this case, in order to prepare this particular dish, you need to pre-prepare your block of tempeh by baking it for 1 hour at a low temperature, and that means 225 degrees roughly for an hour. And I've flavored it in a very unique way. First of all, with some tamari, which is a naturally brewed, wheat-free soy sauce. You drizzle that on the tempeh, as well as an oil. You can use sesame oil or olive oil. And then I flavored it with some onion flakes and a little bit of garlic powder. So it comes out very, very flavorful. And then you just break it up into little cubes and throw it into the rest of the salad, which is the raw portion of the salad. So we've got watercress, which is a wonderfully pungent green, and we've got shredded carrots and a little bit of shredded parsnip to give just a little bit of different flavor overtones into the salad. And so basically, you toss that all together, and then the great part is the condiments that go on it. And these are macrobiotic style condiments. First of all is the ume plum vinegar. And this is actually pickling juice from when the umeboshi plum is pickled. It's very salty and has a fruity overtone to it. It's very delicious and goes well on almost anything savory. It's pretty potent, but the saltiness is very good for alkalinization, which is, we're going to be talking a lot about alkalinization throughout all of our recipes today. And then the sesame oil to just moisten it well. And finally, a beautiful macrobiotic condiment, which is called gomasio, which some of you here know all about. This is sesame seeds and sea salt together. And so this is going to add a nice component of fat and salt in addition to the sesame oil. And so basically you just toss this all together and you have the perfect embodiment of what Collsion cuisine is all about. You have your raw ingredients and your macrobiotic component in the same dish. Now also, Collsion cuisine can be experienced on a different kind of a level, and that is by eating a macrobiotic dish and a raw dish in the same meal. And we'll be looking at a bit of that concept as we go through our class today. So basically, there we have the definition of Collsion cuisine. Two opposite schools colliding to make something well-balanced and something to make you think when you're eating.